What's up, everyone? Today's Monday, December the 16th, start of a new week. 6 games on the card. We're going to break down each game today and give you guys my best looks, leans, picks, the whole bit. An hour before tip-off, guys, I will be posting my best bet of the day for the 30-day betting challenge. So far, off to a rocky start, just 1-3. I didn't have a video yesterday. Didn't have any time, but I did post on X. I had the Celtics. That did not come through. Just 1-3 my first 4 games. Not good. Let's see if we can bounce back, pick it up here, and get some winners for today. I kind of like today's schedule, guys. Let's check out these games, see if we can make some money on this Monday. Let's go. All right, first up, we got Philly in Charlotte taking on the Hornets. The Sixers are currently 3-point road favorites, and the total's at 217 points. Both teams not really playing all that great. The Sixers were on a pretty good uptrend, but they dropped their last one, guys, at home. A bad loss to the Indiana Pacers, 121-107. Make things worse, guys. Joel Embiid injured once again, and it's not his knee this time. He got slapped in the face. He broke something on his face, and he's not going to be playing tonight. So Embiid out once again. The Charlotte Hornets, they've won just 1 out of their last 5. They did get an unexpected win on the road against Indiana. They were 11.5-point road dogs. They got a win by 4, but in their last one, a 14-point loss to the Chicago Bulls. That was a couple days ago in Chicago. Now for tonight, it looks like LaMelo Ball will probably be back in the lineup, guys. Will probably be back in the lineup to help the Hornets. The Hornets definitely playing a lot better at home than they are on the road. At home, guys, they're 5-9. On the road, just 2-9. Do play a lot better at home, and I think against the spread they're also pretty good. Even though the games that they lost where they were dogs, they covered quite a few spreads. Don't know exactly the number, but I know they've been playing pretty well at home. Now, guys, the head-to-head matchup is in favor of the Sixers big time. They've won 9 out of the last 10, and a couple of games so far this year. Philly has won both. The one in Philly, 107-105, and the last one in Charlotte, 110-104. So the Sixers have been doing well against the Hornets. Now, guys, this line at 3, I expect when LaMelo Ball gets ruled in, of course, it will drop. LaMelo, I think he averages something like 30, 31 points a game. So getting the star player back, very important here for the Hornets. I'm going to wait, guys. I'm going to wait. If he gets ruled in, the line will probably drop a bit. That's where I'll take the Sixers. They've won 9 out of the last 10. Trend looks strong. Take the Sixers here in the first game of the night. All right, next up, we got Miami and Detroit taking on the Pistons. The Miami Heat, 4.5-point road favorites, 219 the total. The Miami Heat been playing very good basketball, guys, on a 4-game winning streak. 4-game winning streak for Miami. They've been doing well in the standings. They've climbed up to 5th place, 13-10 overall. Miami looking sharp. Tyler Hero having an all-star season, looking great. No new injuries, so Miami coming to this game at full strength. The Detroit Pistons also having a pretty good year, 10-16 overall. They have slipped a bit lately, just 1 win in their last 5. Coming off a big loss on the road to the Celtics, 123-99. But everyone loses to the Celtics on the road pretty much, so nothing that out of the ordinary from that game. Now on the injury report, we see Tobias Harris, the starting wingman for Detroit, not going to be playing in this game. He's out with injury. The only injury for the Pistons. Now, looking at the head-to-head matchup here, we see that Miami has pretty much dominated the Pistons, 8 wins in the last 10. But if you look at against the spread, guys, Detroit has covered 8 out of those 10 games, which means they always, or at least most of the time, 80% of the time at least, they keep it within the number. I'm going to take the Pistons here, guys, as a home dog, plus 4.5 points. I know they've been downtrending of late. Miami not really reliable on the road. Take the Pistons here, plus the points in this game. All right, up next, we got the Bulls in Toronto taking on the Raptors. The Bulls are 1.5-point road favorites, 240 the total. The Chicago Bulls snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 14-point win in their last one against the Hornets at home, 109-95. Wire-to-wire win for Chicago. And surprisingly kept an opponent below 100 points. Charlotte put up just 95. Chicago usually gives up a ton on the defensive end. They score their share of points. They're a very high-scoring team. They do like to play a very fast pace. But against Charlotte, it was a pretty low-scoring game, just 109-95. Now, on the injury report, we see there are a few players on here. We see Vucevic listed as probable. I think he missed the last game. Zach LaVine listed as questionable with a back injury. Got to monitor these players' status. Obviously, very, very important. Toronto Raptors, they are on a downtrend. They've been losing 4 straight losses. coming off a 10-point loss to the Miami Heat. Um, Toronto, pretty good at home this year. They have been playing well overall. 6-7, they are a game below 500, but they do cover a lot of spreads at home. A lot better at home than they are on the road. On the road, guys are just a very bad 1-12. At home, a very different team. Of course, now they're playing without Scotty Barnes. He injured himself a couple of games ago, so he's not going to be in the lineup in this game. Now, guys, over here, I'm going to take the Bulls. I like how they perform on the road. 7-6 on the road. One game above 500. Toronto on a big losing streak. Four straight. I know they're a lot better at home, guys, but I'm gonna take a shot here with the Bulls. 1.5. It's a low number. I think we can cover this. Get the W in this game. All right, up next we got the Cavs in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. The Cavs are 10-point road favorites, 216.5 the total. The Cavs still first place in the East. The record currently 22-4, best record in all of the NBA. Just a one game though ahead of the Celtics. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. Did bounce back after that loss against the Miami Heat, a wire-to-wire loss in Miami. Picked up a 10-point win against the Wizards in their last game. Cavs playing great. The Brooklyn Nets just one win in their last 5. They're coming off a 16-point loss in Memphis. And we also got a trade. The Brooklyn Nets traded away Dennis Schroeder, arguably one of their better players this year. Maybe their second, third best player after Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson. I'd say he was the third best player on the team. They traded him away for D'Anthony Melton. D'Anthony Melton, we know, injured himself. He's not going to be playing at all. This is pretty much a salary dump. Looks like the Brooklyn Nets. That was a strange move, actually. It looks like tanking season is starting early for Brooklyn. Now, guys, in this game, the 10-point line looks fairly accurate to me. My lean would probably be with Cleveland, but I'm going to focus here on the total instead. I'm probably going to go under the number here, the 216.5. Brooklyn, I think, is going to struggle big time now on the offensive end. If they are to keep this competitive, they're going to have to try to play some defense. We know the Cavs can rack up quite a few points. In their last few games, though, they haven't been scoring at too high of a clip. I don't think the Nets will be able to keep up with a high score. So I'm going to go under the number here, the 216.5. It looks low, but I think we could finish well below this number when it's all said and done. Under 216.5 my play in this game. All right, up next we got Denver and Sacramento taking on the Kings. The Kings are 1.5-point home favorites. 237 is the total. The Denver Nuggets, they won a couple straight after a 2-game losing streak on the road. They were out for 3. Dropped the first 2 against Cleveland, a bad loss against Washington, bounced back with a 30-point win against Atlanta, and the last one against the Clippers at home. Looked like the Denver Nuggets of the previous seasons, dominant at home, 120-98, big win for the Denver Nuggets. On the injury report, we see Jamal Murray listed as probable. He's going to be coming back for this game. Denver should pretty much be at full strength. Sacramento Kings, after a very poor start to the year, they won 4 of their last 5 games and on a 3-game winning streak. Of course, a couple of games, the previous games against Utah and New Orleans, not against any powerhouses, but they did get the job done. Sacramento, slowly but surely, picking things up. 13-13, reached 500 on the year. Still a game below 500 at home at 6-7. Now, on the injury report, we see Kevin Huerter listed as doubtful. He's been playing pretty good basketball in the last couple of games, so this is a pretty significant injury here for Sacramento. And Trey Lyles, he's been out for a while, so those 2 players not going to be available. Now, the head-to-head matchup, we see the last 10, Denver's won 6 out of the last 10. But I see here, guys, Sacramento at home in the last 3 games. They've won the last 3 against Denver at home. And the wins have been pretty good for Sacramento. Been some high-scoring games. We see the total here is at 237. Expect another track meet here. Guys, I'm going to take the Kings here. I'm going to take the Kings with the -1.5. I know Denver's been playing very good basketball last couple of games. But this head-to-head matchup here, Sacramento looks like they have been getting the better of the Nuggets at home. I'm going to take Sacramento here with the -1.5. It's going to be my pick here in this game. All right, last game of the night, we got Utah in LA taking on the Clippers. Clippers 8.5-point home favorites, 223 is the total. Both teams on a downtrend of late, not playing well. Utah just 1 win in their last 5. They look decent for the majority of the game against Phoenix, but at the end, guys, they could not keep the game close. Ended up dropping that by 8, 134-126 was the score over there. On the injury report, we see Jordan Clarkson, and once again on the injury report, he's been battling plantar fasciitis, listed as questionable. He did play against Phoenix, looked decent. That was his first game back in quite a while, so we do have to monitor his status, guys. He's a very important player for Utah. I've noticed whenever he's in the lineup, that's when they tend to do damage. Pretty solid player, Jordan Clarkson. Now, the LA Clippers, 3 straight losses for them. 3 straight double-digit losses against Minnesota, Houston, and Denver. Against very good competition, obviously, but the Clippers not competitive in any of those games. Overall in the year, still very respectable, of course. They are 14 and 12, still 2 games above 500, 9 and 6 at home. Pretty good record for the Clippers. Now, guys, in this ball game, I'm actually going to take Utah here. I know Utah stinks on the road. They're not very good. But the Clippers, I think they are a bit overrated, guys. I've talked about them in previous videos. I'm not really a big fan of the roster the way it is now until Kawhi Leonard gets back. I don't know. I just can't. I don't have that confidence in this team. I think a bit overvalued, overrated. Also, guys, Derrick Jones has been pretty good for the Clippers this year. He's been out. Terrence Mann also out. So a couple of important players missing for LA. I'm going to take Utah here, guys. Plus 8.5. It is a risky bet because Utah can collapse at any moment, but especially if Jordan Clarkson plays, I think I'll have some pretty good confidence here in this play. Utah plus 8.5 is what I'm going to be going with here in the last play of the night. And these are my thoughts and my leans and picks for tonight. I think my best play out of all of these, and probably be my best bet of the night, will be on the Bulls with the minus 1.5 on the road. The only thing is I gotta see what's gonna happen with Zach LaVine. He is currently listed as questionable. I do expect him to play, but just to make sure, I am gonna wait on that. The Bulls 7 and 6 on the road, better at home, on the road than they are at home. Toronto on a recent skid without Scotty Barnes. They're just not that good of a ball club, guys. Looking at Chicago for my best bet of the day. I will finalize, though, that play with a pinned comment also on my X about an hour before tip-off when we get word on the injury report. And that's going to be it for me here, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Don't have anything much more to add. I'm going to wish you all good luck on your plays, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good one. Later.